Hello there, people of the internet. We have hunting season coming up. I got the camera in kind of a weird angle, I know. It's because the sun's out, somebody cut down my shade tree. I think it's just miserably hot outside, so I'm taking shade over here in this little cluster of trees that we got. But we got hunting season coming up, and one of my favorite rifles is my Type 38 Arisaka. It's been sporterized, which a lot of people tell me to unsporterize it, but man, I just like it so much. In this configuration, here she is. You guys have seen this on the channel before plenty of times. Just, I like the way the barrel looks, I like the way the stock is. It's incredibly lightweight, it's incredibly light shooting. It's just a fantastic little rifle. So I'm out here at my range, and I figured I'd go ahead and load up some 6.5 Jap to send downrange. Now these 6.5 Jap rounds are a little bit different than my normal loadings. I used surplus powder, particularly 8mm Mauser Greek surplus 198. It's like a flake, if memory serves me correctly. Been a straight minute since I've reloaded these, but it's like a flake powder. And I loaded it as if I was loading 4064, but I also undercharged these by about 10%. And seeing as I go after like pig and deer and whatnot, which are like 120 pounds, well, pig and the 120-pound deer here in Florida, maybe you'll find a 150-pound. Either way, this right here is plenty of power to be able to take one of those guys down. But I loaded up a couple of rounds here with this flake powder, and I have not tested it yet. So I figured I'd come out and I'd test this surplus powder. I load up a lot of my cartridges with surplus, but whenever I use surplus, just because I don't quite know the burn rates of these powders, I will undercharge them ever so slightly, because if the burn rate is a little bit faster, I like having that little bit of extra wiggle room. So yeah, we're gonna go shoot some of this to see how it performs. A lot of people are nervous whenever it comes to reloading things with surplus gunpowder just because they don't know what the gunpowder is. Well, if you measure out the amount of gunpowder in the case, like in this particular case, I think it was around 48 grains with a 198 grain bullet and 8mm Mauser, you can go and you can look at similar weights of powder in 8mm Mauser with the same bullet weight, and you'll get a rough estimation of what that powder is probably going to be burning like, or at least that's the way that I do it. Okay, let me grab my 6.5 Jap and you guys, and we'll wander over here. Alright, I imagine that this is probably going to be a relatively quick video. I'm going to try and angle you guys to where you guys can see targets, but the sun's kind of in an awkward spot and I don't want to get a bunch of lens flare. So I got some 6.5 Jap, just because these are soft points and the magazine on this is a little bit wonky and I don't want to mess up the soft points. I'm going to load these one at a time into this rifle, just like that. And I don't really have a particular thing that I'm shooting at. We got a little toy car out there, we got a dresser, and we got a door. So I guess I'm going to shoot the door in like one of the spots that hasn't been shot, and I'm going to see where this hits in relation to my aim point. This should hit basically right at the point of aim. So here we go. This right here, I think is, memory serves, I think it's a 200-yard zero. I might be wrong about that, but that's what I think it is. But whenever you undercharge things, they hit a little bit lower just because of the trajectory of the lack of power. I'm not quite sure why it happens, but yes, if you undercharge your cartridges, they do hit a little bit lower coming out of your rifle, just that little bit lessened velocity even at these shorter distances. So they should hit right at point of aim, or at least fairly gosh darn close. Okay, actually yeah, it looks like we hit about 3 inches high. We're about 35 yards away or so. So that was a fair amount of power. We definitely got some recoil. I don't see any bulging or anything like that on our primer. I don't see any cracked cases or anything like that. That is a good sign. That means that we are not overpressured with our 6.5 Jap. In fact, I'm willing to bet that we're probably slightly underpressured. So I'm going to shoot the dresser that we got over there. I'm going to try and aim for one of the handles on the drawer. That was like smoke. I'm going to try and aim for one of the handles that we have on the dresser over there, and we're going to see what kind of damage that does, I guess. that probably just passed through. I saw something behind it fall down. So, might have missed the handle on that, but that's fine. Now I'm going to just shoot that little toy truck that we have out there, which should be fun. I'm going to try and angle myself. You guys probably aren't going to see me on camera. I'm going to angle myself to where the round goes through the trunk. This is a soft point round, so we're probably going to have some separation. Goes through the truck and into the dresser that I have behind it. Okay, cool. That was fun. All right, well, I'm going to wander down there. I'll bring the camera with me. Does not look like we had any issues with this brass or the primer or anything like that, so I'd say that these loaded rounds are a-okay and good to go. Alright, wandering over here, we definitely hit the truck. Looks like our entrance wound is right there, and we exited, and looks like we hit this. The bullet looks like it was still pretty much intact. That looks like a keyhole, obviously, because it hit that truck. But did it go through the dresser? That's the big question. It does not look like it went through the dresser. Let's open her up and see what we can find here. She does not want to open easily. Oh, I don't think that's going to open. Alright, so the bullet is probably somewhere still inside of there, which is fine. It's really not that big of a deal. But we hit right there, and the bullet does not look like it's exited. Nope, not on the bottom or anything. Okay, cool. As far as aim point goes, yeah, I was aiming right there about the middle of this T-section on this door, and I think that's our round right there. So yeah, she's at point of aim. Definitely has a fair bit of power behind her. Went through this trucking into our dresser. Didn't pass through the dresser, but went into the dresser. Let's see if we could see from this side what happened. Yep, looks like it, it smacked right there. You guys probably won't be able to see it, but the bullet is sitting right there. As a matter of fact, I might be able to pull this bad boy out of there. One time where I don't have my pliers. Ladies and gentlemen, there is our 6.5 Jap bullet. Went through a truck, did not expand, which is to be expected. The soft point expansion is based around hitting a gelatinous material, not a truck like that. But yeah, there we go. That kind of smacked through everything and into this. I would not feel bad about shooting a deer with that, or a pig, or whatever it is that I come across. Fantastic. All right, as far as 6.5 Jap goes, that was pretty gosh darn good in terms of testing with mystery gunpowder. I'm probably gonna up the charge a little bit for my actual hunting loads, because those do seem a little bit underpowered even for 6.5 Jap, but I mean, we definitely have some wiggle room here. No, like these aren't showing any signs of overpressure whatsoever, so I'll up the charge. Maybe I'll bring it to normal specs, like if I was loading it for 4064, and we'll see where we go from there. All right, like I said, this video's gonna be a little bit on the fast side. I just want to go ahead and bring you guys out here, test these rounds, since I was coming out here to test this stuff anyway. Thanks for watching, folks. Appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. I'll see you guys on the next episode. What time is it getting to be? Ooh, about time for dinner. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garand. It's a shame that bolt action shotguns aren't more mainstream.